Pickaxe.
5, 4, 3, 2, live from CVS, Walgreens, and somewhere trapped in a pharmacy. Show.
Nobody gets that joke, John. Welcome to episode 902 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. If you want to know what John's talking about, go listen to our Twitch live stream. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson.
And I am Generation Rye. How's it going, everybody?
Wait a minute.
Hi, welcome back. Yeah, we got a
How
Canadian
many
with us
fucking
again.
names
Thank
do you
you.
have?
Oh, he's Scooter.
Just the
he's
one.
Rye.
That's my online name.
Wait,
Sorry.
you're Rye,
That's
Generation
his TikTok.
Rye.
He's Generation
and you're
Rye on TikTok.
Ryan.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? No, Ryan's here because we have a really good show tonight to talk about Clair, Obscur, a roundtable. We both played a lot. John, we'll find out how much you played. There's some big topics out there. Marathon, I know none of us got to play, but I want to kind of bring up the buzz around
it.
because it's been kind of negative. Thank you for the sub, Kiwi.
I don't know what to think about that game at all. I have to play it. I'm worried that it's going to be a Bungie dud. They have a pretty good track record, but I don't know.
Right, but
I
like
do
you
feel
say,
you need
who's
to play
left?
it to fully experience
Did you
that.
play it?
No, I didn't get a code.
Okay.
No, we were late on it, but like, I don't know. The people I know who played, shout out Ted in the Discord, are like, I don't get this. It wasn't fun. There's bots and it doesn't feel good killing them. And it's
Well, it's
just,
PvP, PvE extraction shooter, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Well, if you guys have an extra code and it's still going on, feel free to send us one and we'll make sure John at least plays because I know you're the shooter guy, John. You'd probably love to
I
get your
want to
hands
play
on
it.
Yeah.
Now, there was a bit of a cliffhanger last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
I got my Switch 2 pre-order in.
Hey.
Okay.
Are you
Excited?
excited? I am.
No.
I'm genuinely excited. Yeah. It went very smooth. I got it at Walmart.com. I was there like 3 minutes before midnight, and I got put into a queue. And there was a
You
countdown.
went MIA. Everybody thought you may have driven
Yeah,
off
we
the
thought you
cliff.
raged off or something because you were talking to us and then you disappeared.
No, I was on Walmart.com. I like I said, a few minutes before midnight, I got into a
Why do
queue.
you keep saying .com? Like we think it's like .org or something. Why don't you just go? I was online. I got it at
I went to
Walmart.
Walmart.com.
You keep saying .com. Are we getting paid and I'm not getting any of this scratch? Is Walmart
I didn't go to
paying
a
you?
Walmart store. I went to the.
Yeah,
what
I
are
know.
you talking about?
Well, you just keep
I
saying
use Chrome.
Walmart.com.
Well, that's where I went. That's exactly where I did.
You don't
Was
need
it
to keep
seamless?
saying
Was it a good
.com.
experience?
It was a seamless, good experience. I thank you,
Okay.
Ryan, for asking.
That's good.
Yeah, good.
Now I heard GameStop and Target was a shit show, and I'm glad I didn't go to Target.com and GameStop.com.
Of course. But you can go to videogameoutsiders.com. You can go to our Discord. We're actually giving away 2 keys for
Yeah.
Clair Obscur from cdkeys.com. They got a great deal going on right now. You can save $10. It's like a $34 game for a really beefy game. And we're going to talk about that game tonight.
Great
If you want to
deal.
win a copy, everybody can enter for free in our Discord, but we're also giving away, we're holding 1 copy for the first Tier 2 Discord subscriber we get. So I'll check after the show or this week or whenever it comes in. So if you subscribe at Tier 2 in Discord, you get a copy of Clair Obscur for Steam. So thank you, cdkeys.com, for that. It's worth it. I think even though it's on Game Pass, this game is worth owning and supporting. So that's my early review of it, but we'll talk
Absolutely.
more about that in a bit.
Nice.
There's already like a movie being made about it, and we have that in the news as well. So what else is going on? We're live right now on
I don't know.
twitch.tv.
Someone in the chat wanted to know if I'm getting my Switch on January 5th, and it does. I mean, June 5th. It does say June 5th. Pre-order arrives. So
Yeah, and you'll be
I'm
doing
sure
an
any
unboxing,
pre-orders that-
right?
what's that, Michelle?
Yes.
You'll be doing an unboxing, right? Like you did with the first one. Didn't you like have your knife out and maybe
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun because people have been asking about that. So, all jokes aside, glad you got one. I know you were excited, you were hyped. You want to play Mario Kart. You want to check out the hardware. So, we'll be covering Switch
No, I'm
2.
really psyched, and obviously Donkey Kong comes out in July. I'm really excited about that. I'm open-minded about Mario Kart. I'm sure it'll be fun for a week. And I just want to see the hardware. I want to put my old games in and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well, they
I want to
asked
see
you
how.
for $20. That's what happens. So you can
Well,
upgrade
no,
them
actually,
to
they
unlock to
released
play.
there's a list that's circulating right now of games that are free upgrades. So,
Is it free with your subscription to Nintendo Online?
well, that's a good question. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I
that's
do know
what they
some
mean.
of them are getting upgraded. Yeah, no matter what, it's just going to run better on the better hardware.
Right. Yeah, there's a list of select games. But the games are kind of shitty though. It's like ARMS. Remember that game?
Free with sub, Kevin says.
I
yeah.
bought that game.
I did too. I mean, that was like very early on. But like ARMS, Captain
Very.
Toad, Super Mario Odyssey, these are all getting free updates. This is a Nintendo Switch.
Wait, they're updating ARMS?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Super Mario 3D World, Clubhouse Games, Zelda Link's Awakening, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Game Builder's Garage. Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember you paid $80 for that you never played.
I did. I remember doing deck mode out with that game. Big Brain Academy, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, and then Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Those are games that are getting free upgrades.
Pokemon definitely needs it.
Yeah.
They should not be charging to upgrade
this
that
is on
game.
Nintendo's website. Free updates to improve playability on the Switch 2 will be released for select games. So I don't know. So
It is
right.
wild that they're advertising that as free when it should just be common sense. Like the game should just run better.
Well,
from the
actually, I
start.
got a
Yeah,
story
like
about
when you
that.
upgrade your GPU on your PC, the
Well,
games run better. You don't pay NVIDIA an extra thing per
okay.
game.
Well, we'll talk
No.
about that in a little bit because I had a run-in with something.
With PlayStation, so you can say Sony sucks tonight. Is that what you're going to do? It's got to be PlayStation, right? We know he's not going to ever talk bad
Why
about
do you
Xbox.
say that? Why do you say that?
Because I just know you, John, and it's going to be PlayStation. And we got a bad comment. We said somebody, I forget where, they're like, can John stop saying that Sony is dead and Sony sucks? They said stop with this console war stuff. See, he's taking his childhood, the damage from his childhood because he didn't have a PS1, and that's
Okay,
what
first
we're
of all, I
hearing.
was not a child when that came out. So
Sorry, you were married with children. Whatever
no,
you were doing.
I wasn't married.
when you were.
but well, it was when the N64 came out, or just after, and so I was in my 20s, right?
You were in your 20s when the PS1 came
No
out.
way.
Yeah, it was.
No Nintendo.
What are you,
64.
70 years old? I don't want to do this
It came
math
out in
right now.
'94. I was in my 20s.
Okay. Well, Kiwi says I need to understand the trauma is real and you are suffering. So I guess my apologies. All right, let's
What?
move on. You've got PlayStation trauma, and we're
I
all
don't have
working through it.
PlayStation.
You
No,
do.
I listen. I was the N64.
Yes,
was,
anonymous.
The N64
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
fucking amazing, and then the PlayStation 1 came out. And I was a one console person. I'd go to Blockbuster Video.
I don't know.
And
We
I'd
had
get
everything.
so
I
pissed
didn't
off.
deal with this trauma growing up. Okay, I didn't have generic Advil like you did. All right, I had all the consoles. We had PC.
You went to Blockbuster.
Yeah, I did.
That's-
I went to Blockbuster all the time when we started doing the
Missed
show.
that store.
We all did. We all went to Blockbuster.
I didn't really go to
course.
Blockbuster.
I went. I frequented that.
It was
place.
like a mom and pop shop that I liked, but Blockbuster
Yeah.
had good game rentals though. Like there was a
They had
certain period of
great
time
game
when it was like
rentals.
you could
Rent
get a game for
consoles.
$2 or something at night. I never rented a
Yeah.
console there, but I've heard.
And I would always go there like on a Tuesday or whatever the release date was, like after a certain time, and you were guaranteed to get a new release. And it was pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And then that all
Yeah.
went away. And then we had Redbox for a short while, and then that went away.
Well, people still do. O'Malley, our mod does it. What is it called again?
Yeah.
Gamefly, yeah.
Gamefly. Yeah, that's still a thing, which is crazy because nobody really even knows that still exists, but they're still going. He gets some good games every week. The library also, that was a Matt Bradford hack.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you guys have
Yeah,
a
that's
local
a good one.
library. Yeah, like they've got tons of Switch games, especially out there. So there are ways to look at games on the cheap. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the games we played other than Clair Obscur. Am I saying that right? Is it Obscure? I don't even know. Is it
I just say
Obscure,
33.
yeah.
33? Are we just calling it 33 now? It's 30.
I just say that.
33.
I don't have
All
to
right.
deal with the rest of it.
Expedition 33.
Did you
So
play
we talked
33
about
seconds
that.
of it?
He probably
33
did. Let's go look at
minutes.
his time played. Other than that, though, so yeah, it was kind of a busy week with that and also Oblivion. I did get it on Steam as well, even though I played a bit on Game Pass. I don't know if you played it all, Rye, or what your history was with Oblivion Remastered, but I wanted to go back and actually play more. Like, I do think it was a really well done and much needed remaster, and it's doing very well. It's actually selling very well on Steam and on PlayStation, right, John? Didn't you read something
Yeah.
about that?
Right.
Like it's popular, and yeah, the performance
It's
isn't
fantastic.
perfect, but
And I too played a little bit this weekend, and
Mhm.
I wanted to play that more than anything else. Like I just love how it feels, the pacing, just the quests and like things to do. Like I just like being in that world. I played on my Xbox too, and it does run fine. It looks fine on the Xbox because before I played on the PC.
yeah.
But yeah, Phil knocked it out of the park with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see people discovering this game for the first time. And a lot of them really are. Like, they played Skyrim and they didn't want to go back to the old one. And so we're hearing from people that are like, should I get this? Should I play this? Is it worth it over the old version? Yes, 100%. I know you can get the old version for like $5, but like, no, just get this one or Game Pass it. We've got some keys coming for it soon, maybe in a week or two. So we'll be giving some away as well. But I definitely think it's worth it. And like, even though I've already played through this game and closing the gates is annoying, there's something special magical about it, and it has like the old school jankiness. And it's more than just in a nostalgia way that makes it fun. It's in a way when games were simpler and you really thought about your moves, and like to cast a spell, it takes a second, and like you're not like, going crazy. Like it's kind of methodical in a way with the combat, even though it's janky. Like you can't just go crazy. You have to kind of think about like what spells you're going to slot in, or what weapons you want to roll, or where to put your point. Like you do a lot of thinking and running around leveling, and it just takes you back to another time in a good way. I mean, some people when Oblivion came out were like 7 too. I've heard from like those people, and they're like, oh, I could never play this, I wasn't old enough, so it's like a lot of new people are finding Oblivion, and so for me that's a good thing. But I did see that
I think it's a great thing.
They're not going to use.
I think it's fantastic.
Do you
they're
think
not
this
going to
is
use
setting
Unreal
this?
5 to make ES6? They said probably.
What? Because I was
There's
just
too
about to
many
ask.
problems with
No.
with the creation
Shut-
engine. Now I don't know what that means for it, but is it still being
I feel
built
like
in the
if they-
shitty
if they
Starfield engine?
Fully remade Oblivion, like one of their new games, it wouldn't have hit the same.
Yeah, I agree
think
with you.
people are really liking the old vibe of it. Like it's under the hood, like they said, it's the exact same game. and
Yeah,
I think
they
that's
left
really
the
driving
jank
the
and the
game.
weirdness in there and polished some of the other jank and weirdness.
So you're getting
But,
the
like,
nostalgia people, and also people that are just like, wow, games used to be different, and I haven't
Is
played
this
something
because
like
they outsourced this port
Yes.
to another studio?
Probably
right?
why they were able to do
and the
this.
other
I think
studio
so.
knows Unreal 5 really well, but they don't. Is that kind of what's going on here?
Well, I mean, there are performance issues with it, but you can get by that with forcing like latest DLSS and all that shit. But like, as far as that, John, I'm concerned though with Elder Scrolls 6, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking forward to. That's my GTA 6. That's it. Mine is Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls 6. I don't care about GTA. I've been looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6 for a long time, and I had concerns after Starfield. And after playing this, I'm like, all right, maybe they're starting to get it that the engine isn't there and it can't keep up. But then I saw they aren't going to use this because the creation engine is a layer. I don't know what's going on. So there's going to be like a
it's
more
the creation engine 2.
but they're doing this with Fallout. There was just a patch for Fallout to be 60 FPS.
Creation Engine 2.
Yes, I think so. You were like, this game almost seems is better than Starfield. Like, it looks better than Starfield. It's like, the mouse are
believe
moving
that.
better than Starfield in a way. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
so
that's
everybody,
the same engine as Starfield.
Yeah. So check
So they're
out
going to stick to their
Oblivion
guns,
Remastered.
right? Because it's like, oh, we made our own engine and we're badass and we're cool.
Yeah, that's
But they're
actually
using
what
the
Todd Howard
graphics
sounds
from
like.
another engine,
Mhm.
which is just
Yeah, it's awkward. There's a lot of layers. That's why it doesn't run very, very well on Steam Deck, I've heard. There are some like workarounds you can do, but people are like, there's so many, it's like an extra layer running over, and it's not really like that optimized. But it still looks good. It runs good for me anyway, but I'm enjoying myself. And it's not just because I liked Oblivion. It's because I do think Oblivion shaped RPGs, and, it was just from another time in a good way. And like, for me, that's my nostalgia is in Oblivion. So I'm enjoying myself. So check that out if you haven't. It is on Game Pass. I definitely think it's worth a Game Pass sub right now. We've got that. We have Clair Obscur. You have South of Midnight if you want to check that out.
Indiana
You've got Doom
Jones.
coming up. Indiana Jones. Like, Phil is really doing a good job
Call of
lately, John. I'll
Duty,
give you credit. Like
so
we said.
many games.
There's a lot of games right now for Game Pass. So it's a good time to do a month, even if it's the
Like
$15.
giant, amazing games too. And they
Yep.
just put GTA in there. So you think there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of single player games and multiplayer, like thousands of hours.
Yep. And
like
like I
it-
said, we have Doom coming up in May, and that looks really good. So Medieval
that's gonna
Doom,
be-
sign me up for that. We'll see. So we're going to
Yeah.
do a roundtable with Matt next month with that. So other than that, I did play. My brain was like melted after playing Oblivion and Clair Obscur. I have to admit, it was almost, you could say,
was
like
goo?
So I played World of Goo.
a lot of games.
Too. It was a lot of games, a lot of heavy games. And like Clair Obscur, I had to keep taking breaks from, like, I kept stepping away from it, and we'll probably get into that. Like, it's kind of like, you don't want to burn through the game in like one session. So I did need something light. And John, I know you played this too. I didn't play World of Goo 1. You did actually. So
Yeah, I did.
jump in with me here, because it's a bit like
that
Lemmings
was-
meets puzzle building meets
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
engineering?
to me, this is when this game came out, like in 2008, it was on the original Wii. That's where I played it, and you
Okay.
used the pointer, the Wii whatever the fuck they called it back then, to point at the goo and make like bridges, basically.
Yeah.
And that was like a different magical time where you would tolerate games like this because they were like almost like tech demos in a way.
Yeah, and I heard it was out on mobile as well, but I completely missed it or don't remember it at all. But I saw this one, and it was kind of like, okay, it looked like something easy and fun to do, how to get the goo across the bridge or whatever. But basically, the world is filled with goo. And they tell you, there's a story. They're like, for years, the goo is gone. Now the goo is back. Why is the goo back? And we've got to get the goo together. The goo must flow, basically. And you're judged by 3 things: goo balls, goo moves, and goo time. So you grab goo. You're basically building goo scaffolding thing or a goo ladder or a goo bridge, and you're trying to figure out how to get all that goo together, flowing down into like the pipe or whatever. And it's like these mini little puzzle levels.
The
and I have to say,
pipe.
This looks
the
fun.
goo pipe. I kind of liked it. Like, I don't mind puzzle games. I kind of like them in like these little micro levels that they are, John. Like, you don't have to play this game for hours and hours. You sort of just like do a little.
It's a good
goo
chill
level.
puzzle game.
Yep.
And it's kind of worth mentioning too. World of Goo Remastered is part of Netflix, so you can get that for free if you're a Netflix person.
Now, what's the difference here? Because I didn't play the first one. They said there's new goo, jelly goo, liquid launchers, growing goo, shrinking goo, explosive goo, and different goo. I don't know.
The things that I noticed in this that were new was the rewind, and I could be wrong because I haven't played this game in 17 years. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the rewind is new, but that's a good point. You can go back and try to redo.
I think the rewind, there's a little bug floating around and you can rewind. And I do want to mention too that I played this on the Steam Deck and on my PC. Not controller friendly, this game. But the Steam Deck has a touchscreen, and that is the way to play with the touchscreen.
Okay.
Yeah, the touchscreen.
I played with the mouse. It was fine. And
touchscreen's better. It really is. I think
I
played World of Goo on my iPad a long time ago too, if I remember right. But
I didn't know this was that old. I thought it had just released like in the Switch era, but I didn't know there was a game way back. That's cool.
Yeah, it was on the Wii. It was something that we covered very early on this show, and it was
I remember it, but it was because the name was silly.
It was part of those days though where they were like creating all these new ways to play games in your living room with the Wiimote, and this game kind of rode that wave. Mm-hmm. And I think it got a lot of press just because back then there just wasn't a ton of games when this came out. But okay, going back to stuff that's new, Michelle. So
are the conduit balls new? There's like straws you can suck the goo up. Like I think it's basically different tools they've given you.
There's a lot of things I don't remember. Like you're flowing goo all around, but then they start adding layers and layers of complexity to everything. Like in the very beginning, it's like a bridge building game,
Yeah.
And I played a ton of those on the iPad or iPhone, whatever, where you're making points to make a bridge to get a train across. In this, you're using those same points with the goos, trying to like get up to a pipe where it sucks all the goos up. But then they start adding little things where a lot of like physics type stuff. There's like wind. Yeah. There's balloons. Did you get to the balloons?
Yes.
Like the balloons.
Little balloons floating, and then you can. The thing with it
you
though
can
is
make
like
bridges that are suspended by balloons, and then there's also these like fountain shooter things where you're directing goo into these like water cannons that shoot them across the map. You have to have it land in some place, then it goes down, and then it lands somewhere else and makes the next
like
water cannon go.
Machine. What I liked about it is like you can get through it, or you can be like full on. Okay, I'm gonna go beat my time, beat my moves. How many balls? Yeah. Okay, it says I can do this with par 4 balls. Let me go back and try to do that. I used 30. Like what did I do? So you can like challenge yourself if you want to, and kind of like live in that one zone and like get all of the achievements or whatever. So you can kind of play how you want, or if you just want to see all the levels or whatever. But look, I like it. I think it's well done. I think it's a cute little puzzle game. Like, is it the best thing ever? No, but I get why the first one was a hit.
Okay, I like it quite a bit, and I think I like it the most on the Steam Deck with the touchscreen. Okay. This is a perfect, just veg out game on a couch with the touchscreen.
Right.
Like it's really good.
I didn't have any issues with the mouse. I wonder if this one's out on mobile too, or it will be.
I think it is on mobile. I see it on the Play Store.
Okay. So yeah, check this one out, World of Goo 2. I actually think it's a cute little puzzle game if you enjoy challenging yourself with goo balls.
This game is on everything. The Switch, the PS5, Steam, Epic, good old games, Humble Store, Android, Apple, Mac. It's on everything.
Good. Check out World of Goo 2.
It's good. Right. I actually really enjoy it.
I did play some other stuff, but I want to bring it up on PC Outsiders this week, which is a bonus show we do. If you want bonus shows, the whole 20-year back catalog, and ad-free VGO, you can support us on our app or in Discord. And so we'll be talking about that probably with the PC Outsiders this week. All right, I am just drinking some water with True Lemon. What did you do, John?
Well, besides World of Goo, which I do like, I didn't think I was going to like be in love with it because it looked too same in the screenshots. But I think it's a good veg out game. Now, I did attempt to do something for the show over the weekend.
All right. Attempt. So what failed? What happened?
Well, Sony failed.
Oh, here we go.
If they're dead, why do they keep coming back?
Okay, so listen, like I have a collection, a library of games in my PlayStation account, okay? A library of games, PS5. Right? And throughout the years, I've acquired these games through PS Plus and other ways that Sony gives away games, right? And I bought some too. And I knew that I had a game called Days Gone in my library. I own it. It's in my library, okay? And I knew that there was a remastered version that just came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that Sony was charging $10 to upgrade to said remastered version, right? And I said, this will be fun to revisit this game. I know Michelle likes it. We've talked about it a couple
Days
times.
Gone?
Your sister.
My
yeah.
sister liked it. It was
Yeah, your
okay
sister-
for me.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad game. Just wasn't my thing. But I watched her play a lot of it, and I think it gets a bad rep. Like,
Yeah,
didn't
so
sell that well,
I
but-
It came
thought,
out at a bad time. People didn't receive it very well. I think it could have had a better launch.
yeah, it was a fine game. I probably played for a couple hours when it came out. It was kind of like a Far Cry type open worldy game, right? And with zombies and shit. So I thought I'd get the $10 upgrade, and I would try it out, and I'd talk about it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
What happened?
If you got the game from Sony in some way besides giving them cash, you can't upgrade it.
Oh, that is a
You
very
gotta buy the
Nintendo move.
What
gotta-
is the upgrade though? Because the game already looks
It's a
very
DLC,
good. Like it's a graphically
right? It's like a extra.
It's remastered.
There's a
Yeah,
$10
it's just I
DLC
didn't-
though. I thought. It's just-
No, it's a remaster.
Oh, what's it?
Personally, I thought the game had great visuals and like if you're remastering it, it's not that old of a game.
It's called Broken Road. Is that just?
No, the remaster. Not
I know,
that.
but there was a Broken Road DLC that
There
came
is
out
a
too.
DLC, yeah.
That just came out on the 24th.
This is not
so-
what we're talking about.
All right.
There's a new remastered version that just came out, and I can't get it. I don't fucking own it, technically, in their
You don't
eyes.
own it because it's a
That's
different
crazy.
game, though. It's like
Wait,
Oblivion.
John, did you buy the actual game back in the day or do you own
Does
it
it
on
fucking
PS
matter?
Plus?
It's in my
No, but-
goddamn library.
I know, but did you get it for free from PS Plus? That might
No,
not count.
back in the day, I bought it on disc, and I got rid of it at some point in my life.
Oh, okay.
Well, you don't have it anymore. You traded it in, and now you want to double
No,
dip?
I
You can't
traded
double
it in
dip.
because
Listen
Sony
to this
gave me
guy.
the fucking game.
If you don't
They
have the
gave
disc
me it.
anymore, you
But
can't
you don't
play
have
it.
it.
It's in the digital version is in my library. I own the game. Do you understand?
But
You
said you
own
got
the
rid of it.
original, not the remastered. That's different.
Oh my God. No, all right, let's review. I bought this game physically on PS4 when it came out on PS4, okay? I
You don't
played
have it anymore, though, so you don't
I
know.
got
Oh,
the
you
rid
don't
of
have
Disney
the
games.
PS5 version.
and then on the PS5, they
Yeah.
gave away their Sony like definitive collection to like new subscribers, and that was one of the games. It was added to my library. Okay,
That's the one I got.
So I have the digital version of Days Gone, which is the PS4 version, which is the same version I had on the disc. Then they released the remaster in the last week, and it's $10. I got excited. I'll do the remaster. No,
It's like
you
saying
can't.
you didn't own Zelda, the Wii U versus the Wii version or whatever. Or
I
Wii U or
own
Switch version.
the $10.
Nintendo does the same thing, and you
No, the
defend it.
$10 is to upgrade the PS4 version to the remastered version. But in Sony's eyes, because I got the game for free from them, I don't count. I have to buy it again. I have to buy the full game for $50. So fuck them.
Wow.
What is so hard to understand
That's
about
pretty.
this?
It's pretty
Are you
Sony and
supposed to own
Nintendo
the
of them.
remastered to
Excuse
play
me?
the DLC?
Fuck, forget the DLC. This is a fucking remaster
Thank
of the
you,
game.
Kev, for the gifted subs. Look, I don't
Just-
know
it's
enough
not the-
about
it's
this
not
to tell John he's a
DLC,
moron.
goddammit.
Can somebody who knows enough about this tell John he's a
I'm
moron,
saying
please?
So that's
everything
why I asked.
correctly. Are you not
That's why I
listening
asked,
to
'cause
me?
the game doesn't look like it deserves a remaster. It looks like
yeah, what are they even
brand new
doing?
game.
People say
Yeah.
that this remaster looks better than the Last of Us remaster. Like, this is a way better remaster of the game compared to other ones they've done. Okay?
Kev says, John, you're a moron. Thank you, Kev. I needed somebody
Okay.
just to say it. Buddha,
but
thank
there's
you.
there's no meat behind that
Steve
statement.
Busy says, every time I tune in, John's asking for free games.
I'm
Yeah,
looking to
he's
pay
Game Pass brain.
$10.
This Xbox guy has Game
Yeah.
Pass brain. I don't know what happened, John, but get it on PC. It's better there anyway.
People are loving it on PC, it seems.
Yeah, it's getting like a
They're
second
saying
life.
the remaster's like a
you know?
whole new
Days
game.
Gone
yeah.
remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to do like a second launch because the first one didn't go so well. I know it got buried by something. I forget what game it was though. I think it might have been like Ghost of Tsushima or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
John, Sony doesn't have the good business practice, like community love, like Phil does, or whatever. I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? They don't treat their community as well as Xbox. That's for sure. But Nintendo doesn't either, and you defend them. That's all I'm saying.
For $10 you can upgrade your PS4 version, and then when you go to do it, it's not an option because they're penalizing you because you got it.
I think it's because you have the wrong version of the PS4.
Yeah. No, I have the PlayStation Plus.
No, I think John's right.
No,
I think it's the PS Plus version that's
they just don't like that you. Well, you know why? Because you don't own it. You're on the sub. It's if you quit.
No, but
that's why. If you quit your right, but if you so if you cancel your sub, you own the game forever.
So there's monthly games they give you that you add to your library forever,
even if you don't sub anymore. Yeah, you lose them if you don't sub anymore.
I don't sub to PS anymore. I don't have any of those.
I think it's actually PlayStation Gold.
Okay, so you don't own it though. That's like saying if you're playing Clair Obscur right now on Xbox and you cancel your sub, you're mad you couldn't upgrade it.
I think that you're all wrong about this. They have PS Plus monthly games.
Yes,
and these are like games that you add to your library.
All right, so hold on. Sean is saying what John is saying is correct. They've done it before where if you own it on PS Plus because you didn't buy it, you don't get the upgrade. But yeah, you don't own it because if you cancel PS Plus, you lose the game. So that's probably
it's not a PS Plus game though. It's the monthly games they give you every month there's like 2 or 3 games.
Cancel your PS Plus right now, then check your library. We'll get back to us. It's the end of the month.
Do you lose your...
You do not. I just Googled it. You do not own your PS Plus monthly games if you unsubscribe.
Yeah, so that's why you don't own the game.
Yeah. But I think
it's like being mad your Blockbuster or your Rent-A-Couch at Rent-A-Center you can't keep. I mean...
I know because I bought Bloodborne because I lost my free sub when I unsubbed from Sony.
Right.
But so Last of Us, I think, was part of that. I'm seeing not Last of Us. Days Gone was part of that bundle of games they gave you when you got the PS5. You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
It was the starter
you believe
collection.
You own that. It's not just a rental thing, like
the
a sub fee.
PS4 collection or whatever it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if that's the case, that's pretty stupid of them. But if it's the other way around, then I guess you just don't own it. So I don't know. John hates Sony, and this is only deepening the hate.
Well, the thing is, I had an olive branch in my living room. I'm going to my PS5. I'm like, listen, buddy.
ESP says, wasn't that only for the PS Plus subs that you got that game? But they stopped it? I don't know. I don't want to get involved in this mess because there's going to be some angry Sony fanboys yelling at us. There's going to be some Xbox people. Like
I
Sony
tried.
Said.
I was going to cover this game. I was going to play it. I was going to play the remaster.
The monthly games are a part of PS Plus Essential. If you unsub, you lose access to the games until you sub again.
Okay, but I'm a current sub, so who gives a fuck? It's in my goddamn library.
But you don't own it, my friend. Okay? You don't own it, so that's why you couldn't do it. You're crying because you don't own the game.
Even though the upgrade would technically be a waste of money, I do agree with John. They should let him pay that.
Okay, so here's the thing: Xbox lets you do the upgrade. They do. Xbox lets you do the upgrade, so you can upgrade for $30 a Game Pass game. But then if you stop subbing, you just can't play the game, and your $30 upgrade did nothing.
I would rather have those consequences.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that.
No, I don't, because I think that causes a problem when people cancel their sub and they see that the game's gone, and then people bitch and they're like, "I just paid $30 to upgrade it, and I don't even own it." So I can see the side of them not wanting to do it because then you don't have to worry about that headache. It's all very confusing.
It sets a bad precedent.
Yeah. So I don't know what side to fall down on.
I don't like it. It made me realize, like you said, I don't own shit on this goddamn thing. I go in my library, I see all these fucking games, and I want to upgrade one of them, and it's saying nope.
You're paying them every month for what?
Nope. And here's the thing, Phil.
Yep.
All first-party games are on Game Pass.
Yeah, but you don't own them, and if you quit, you don't have them
What
anymore.
I'm saying is, this is a first-party release, Days Gone Remastered. This should be on PS Plus anyway. Because Phil would
take
put
that
it
up with Sony. You're going to tweet them right now, and what do you want to do about it? I can't help you. I just feel like if you know what, that's why I like my Steam library, and I will buy games there and actually have them, because rental stuff, like with Clair Obscur, I have it on Steam now, and with Oblivion, I have it on Steam now. So I like Game Passes, to try a game out to see if you want to buy it or play it or support it or something. But if you really want to own a game, John, you can't do the sub service and then bitch about the fact that you don't own it, because you're just subbing.
That was one of my main reasons for unsubbing from Sony. I subbed for 10 freaking years, but I had enough of it. It kept getting increased prices, all that. I said, nope, I'm done. I'm buying all my games from now on. I don't even sub the Game Pass. So
yeah, I mean, and honestly, the couple of games I've really liked in Game Pass, I ended up getting on Steam anyway, and it was for multiple reasons. So it's the sub service works for some people, but not everybody. And John, it seems like for PlayStation for you. I don't know why you're doing it.
I don't know either because there's never anything good in there. They don't do. They've
If they're
never
dead,
done
stop
anything
subbing
for me.
and then complaining to us about it. Just stop doing it. Go get Days Gone for $2 on CD
I'm
keys.
sick of closing my blinds.
And by
when
the
I
way,
play
we might
this
have
thing. I'm
a
getting
code
more and
coming
more
for you guys
embarrassed.
soon to save money on CD keys. We're working on that too. So yeah, I mean, just buy it cheap for Steam.
Yeah.
Are you done?
All right, and then the other game I played, well, besides Call of Duty, so Matt McCarthy and I have been playing Call of Duty with our Jay and Silent Bob
now
skins.
I'm hearing that Call of Duty is dead because Seth Rogen's in the game.
Yeah, that's somehow tied in to the Jay and Silent Bob thing. Was Seth Rogen in? He was never in one of those movies, but he's a stoner,
not
right?
with them. He's a different time.
But okay, so they're again. I talked about this last week. They are leaning into the stoner thing right now. Okay, so Seth
They
Rogen
do it every year.
Yeah, so the 420 thing just happened, and now they got Jay and Silent Bob, and now Seth Rogen, and they're showing all three of them together as weed gods. So
Right.
I don't know.
God's dead.
It's not dead.
It's dead.
It's totally not dead.
It's dead. It's lame.
They've been doing this forever, though. They've added so many different celebrities and cosmetics, and it's,
Yeah, they're going
you
the
can't say
Fortnite
it's
route.
dead because Seth Rogen. Yeah, they are.
That's what the community's saying. They said Seth Rogen is the last straw for them. You're running around seeing him.
That's the last
That's
straw
the last
of
straw.
everything they've
It wasn't
added.
Nicki Minaj. It was Seth Rogen. He broke people.
No.
Listen,
Yeah, he
I
broke
want
people.
Matthew Perry to be added,
Oh,
and
will
I'm
you stop?
done.
They're not going to start
I'll
adding
be
the
all
dead.
set.
Yeah, his bloated ketamine.
Can you imagine
bath
if they
body
put
running
the
around?
Friends
Nobody
Because of
wants
the
that.
hot tub emote.
Okay, they should put the whole Seinfeld cast in there. That would be a
Seinfeld,
huge
maybe I'll
hit.
give you. Yeah, and he just stops. He emotes. He's like, "What are you doing? You're trying to
Jerry
shoot me?
would never.
Come on."
Oh my
No,
God, that
he'd
is
never
such a
give
great
it.
idea, by the way, to do the entire
Yeah, because
Seinfeld cast.
But do kids even know what Seinfeld is?
I think
No.
they do.
I don't
Mine
think they
do. Mine do. I mean, like The Office and Seinfeld are kind of like cult.
Will you
like,
stop with Matthew
streaming
Perry?
things.
You've got to stop with Matthew Perry. We're all concerned. We need to give John Matthew Perry intervention. So anyway, you
Yeah.
were telling a story. You and Matt McCarthy. What happened?
Nothing. We just been playing Nuketown quite a bit. We're really happy with their SWAT 5.56 rifles, and
Okay.
we're
All right.
trying to get better thermal scopes. Turns out there's
Did you get
no
to
better
second
thermal
base yet,
scopes.
or what happened? Where's their update?
Yeah.
Did you pop the question? Do you know if
So,
he's the one?
I do want to talk
They
about.
do camp upstairs in the bedrooms.
They
we
do.
absolutely do.
Yeah, easy kill though with a grenade.
So I want to talk about Rusty Rabbit. This is the other game I played this week.
That's right. We got a key for that. What is this game?
This is an interesting little game, and it's a Metroidvania style game with some RPG elements in it.
Are you reading?
No, I'm not. You are Rusty, who's a rabbit, and you are on this world with all these cute little furry rabbits, and I guess the humans are all dead, and you're just trying to make heads or tails of everything that's left over after
Oh,
they're
is that
gone.
a joke? Heads or tails?
No.
Is that a pun?
Good pun.
Yeah.
So
This looks cool.
So Rusty is a grizzled old rabbit. He's very sarcastic. He's actually voiced by the guy that does the voice in Yakuza for Kiryu Kozuma.
So there's some zhuzh behind this.
Yeah, it's
money.
a NetEase. It's a NetEase game. There's actually Japanese voices and American English voices, not American English voices. But the voice actors from Yakuza for this character Kiryu, they have the Japanese guy doing Rusty in Japan, and the English guy doing Rusty in English. And he's kind of like a grizzled Max Payne kind of guy, like the way he talks and stuff.
So it's
kinda
not
like,
cutesy rabbit stuff. It's kind of like
no,
asshole
it's
rabbit,
very
like Bugs
dark,
Bunny.
and he's kind of like there's a serious story they're trying to tell here. Like he's a depressed rabbit, Michelle.
Oh,
and he's
I
pretty
wasn't
much
expecting this.
he's accepting the fact that he's going to die, and he's basically uncovering things about his past life.
Now, why
as
is
he
he
do these
rusty?
missions.
Is that his name, or is he like mechanical?
No,
That's
he
his
does.
name.
Okay.
He has a bot.
Right?
He has a little mech suit.
Okay.
But he's a junk collector, basically, right?
All right. Well,
and
I
he's
see
been
why
go-
he's depressed. That guy's a hoarder.
Yeah. So he's a junk collector. He has a mech suit that he uses to go underground. And basically, this game is kind of like a SteamWorld Dig or Dig Dug or Metroid.
Kind of looks like Ratchet and Clank, but like
yeah, it's like
Metroidvania.
so you're doing a lot of digging with your mechanical suit. It's very satisfying and fun. I love a good digging game. Like I love SteamWorld. I fucking adored it. And so you're digging basically metal crates, metal boxes, and you're getting parts and pieces and bolts and shit. And then you'll find some crates that upgrade things. And there's an entire skill tree in this game. It's a pretty meaty skill tree to upgrade all the different stats and specs of the rabbit or the suit. There's a town that you go to in the overworld.
He's just digging to forget about the fact that he's dying.
I guess so.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
I mean, here's the thing. This game goes so out of the way to tell this story that it's fucking annoying. That's my only critique about the game, is that there is endless cutscenes. The gameplay is constantly being stopped.
Kiwi, is he digging his own grave? Kiwi's asking.
That's interesting.
Oh my God, that's like the worst ending ever. He just gets to the bottom and he's like, well.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess
Kev, please. Kev just said, I love digging deep in that ass. This is not the time or place, Kev. This is not the time or place. Boomtap is saying it's depressing because it's Japan. He's kind of an anti-Japan guy. I mean, did you feel it was really depressing, like in a bad way where it ruined the game?
No, not really. I mean, I skipped so much dialogue, Michelle. I probably missed 50% of the depressing stuff they said. I just
these chatters. You guys are out of control. All right, so you do like the game, but the rabbit is old and dying, and it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, but there's something about this game. It's just it's rather addicting. It has some rogue stuff too. There's dungeons that have procedurally generated things like little mini dungeons, but the majority of the game is you going out into this kind of crafted dungeon that's not procedural. That's kind of the main Metroidvania level, and you go out there and you have quests. You go to the bar, you get a bunch of quests. You got to craft 3 things or go find some springs and give them to the guy in the bar, and then that guy gives you like skill points or something like that. And then there's there's a garage, there's a church, there's his house. Like there's so much to do in this game. Like so you come back to town, you do all the things, you maintain all the relationships with the people in the town. You do kind of get like little bonuses if you become better friends with them and all that shit. Hold on here.
Tiger says, I know John loves these furry games. He should play Wild Assault. It's a third-person shooter and it's got furries. Are you a furry, John?
I don't know if I am. I didn't know this is a furry game.
Is it a furry game just because there's an animal in it? I mean, you like these games with that loop, John, right? Like even Dave the Diver, you said like you go out, you farm, you come back to base, you unload. That's kind of like, I mean, I like that about like ARPGs too. Like, so I get it. Like,
I like
you go
that
out, you get a bunch of
WoW.
loot, you go back. You unpack your bags, go back out.
The reason I loved WoW so much, and this game to a lesser degree, is that you go out, you do these heavy things for an hour or two, and then you just go back to Stormwind and you just relax and unwind, do the auction house, sell things. Like I liked that loop quite a bit. And that has this to a lesser extent because if you do go back to the town, you go to the bar and you talk to all the people, you have to deal with all this fucking dialogue, But going back to your home base and upgrading your mech and all that and putting skill points in, like I like that stuff quite a bit. I think the platforming, it has a bit of platforming going on that's not super hard. I think it's pretty tight. It's definitely a controller game.
Careful, don't say tight with Kev the Galaxy Bender in the chat. We might have to be careful.
This game is on the Switch too. I haven't played it on my Steam Deck, and I'm going to. I played it on my PC. I heard the Switch does not run this game well at all.
Not shocking.
The frame rate is shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this game. I recommend this game. And I think this is a tremendous Steam Deck game, assuming it runs fine on it.
Looks like a good Steam Deck game.
Yeah. I like it. It actually really surprised me. My major critique, though, is that goddamn fucking dialogue. These fucking rabbits.
I really want skip dialogue options. Like
you can.
You can skip
some of it. But like every time you come across something, some fucking rabbit comes out of the woodwork and wants to tell you what you just found or some big thing, and it's like, get the fuck away from me.
But they were proud of the voice acting. You said they got some
they got the Yakuza
people,
guy.
Right? So they probably, I don't know. I won't judge.
Yeah, I actually fully understand the lineage of the developers on this because I know it's like a NetEase game and they have Yakuza guys.
They really shouldn't bother you while you're digging your own grave. It's not a good time to check in.
How you doing over there?
What are you doing over there? You want some help, buddy? All right, John, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Partake.
All right, Rye, what'd you do other than Clair Obscura?
Other than Clair Obscura, I was on a trip. I went to Jamaica, so I had the Steam Deck. I was looking for some games to play. I was going to jump back into Chained Echoes, And then you brought up Dark Day 82.
Yeah.
And that is a turn-based tactical game made by, I believe it's only 2 developers.
Yeah, we got a key and they're like, do you want to review this? And I asked you and you were like, you were following this because the first one had some buzz, right? And this one's like so loved. It has like overwhelmingly positive reviews. I don't know anything about it.
A lot of overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam there. The developer was basically documenting the whole journey on TikTok. And I found him when he made the original game. The original game didn't really take off as much. But this one apparently blew up, and it's been on my wish list for a bit, so I decided to play it.
Can you say the name of the game again? Dark Deity.
I put it in chat.
Dark Deity 2.
All right.
So it's... I gotta start with one thing. One of my gripes, this story was very bland. Like the way they kind of introduced it. It's the voice acting is new to the second one, to the sequel, and they did do a lot of things right in the sequel compared to the first one. It's your classic, like the combat is classic Fire Emblem, 2D pixelized, turn-based tactical. They did a good job with the combat, I believe. It's very straightforward, like attack minus defense equals the damage you do, stuff like that. But the voice acting was a little bit bland. The story was bland. It was definitely fun, though. If you do like the combat, turn-based tactical combat.
This looks like it was made with RPG Maker, by the way, was it?
I know, it does. And when you open the game, it says it's like made by or made with some sort of game maker. I forget what the name was.
Yeah, it looks like one that I've used.
Maybe. Because it was only 2 guys, right? They made the first one, and then they made the second one within, I think it was like a year after, like 2 years. So...
I mean, it's hard for me to go from Sword of Convaleria to this, which was free and I loved it, 100 hours in, and this just looks like not as good for $25, if I'm being honest.
Swords of Convaleria is a gacha game, and I think it did a lot of things better than this. But it's not a terrible game. I think pick it up if it's on sale. It was fun for a bit. The story doesn't really pick up until later in the game, so I've heard. But the combat's cool. The characters and the story, not so much. But there's a lot of customization with difficulty and like with the characters and the team composition and stuff. So if you do like these kind of games, you may enjoy it. A lot of people are claiming they enjoyed it. I'm looking at the review.
It says great gameplay, abysmal writing. So I think, like you said, like underneath the horrible story, the horrible whatever voice acting, there's like good gameplay, but there's just covered with shit. So
yeah, officially made in Game Maker. Thank you, BoomTap.
Okay.
Well, that's a little bit more complicated though than RPG Maker. I have that.
It was okay though.
I made Pickwitch in that, Michelle.
That's not launching. There's no Pickwitch.
May not be worth it for the price tag now, but I think if it does go on sale, worth for a little Steam Deck grab for sure. I think it's on Switch as well.
I need to revisit Pickwitch.
No, we have other irons in the fire. Shh, keep it down. Sorry.
I also played the Constance demo, and recently coming off of a Hollow Knight kick, I was like, oh, I'm looking for the next platformer, Metroidvania bass battler.
Yeah, this was the game you were going crazy about in Discord. I meant to try the demo.
No, that was Rubinite. That one I loved. That one was awesome.
Okay, so let me look this up.
If you want me to talk Rubinite, that game is really cool.
Yeah, you're like, this is the next big thing. I was like,
it's going. I truly think it's gonna explode when it does come out.
Okay,
extreme like timing, pixel perfect attacking, like. It's just so cool. It's a beautiful game. The art style is awesome. There's a demo on Steam right now. Okay. I went through and beat the whole demo. Worth the demo alone. I think it's going to come out. It's probably going to be like $20 probably, I'm guessing. Awesome.
So tell me about this other
concept.
one before we get off on the Rubinite thing, because I did just add that to my library. So this is called Constance? The Constance?
Constance, yeah. So immediately when you jump in, heavy inspiration from Hollow Knight. Like pretty much everything. The only thing you can't do the same is shoot your weapon up. But other than that, you're collecting soul, you're attacking enemies. They didn't really veer off of that path, and I quickly uninstalled it. But
this is too much of a copy.
Other than that, yeah, it was way too much of a copy for me to support it. I'm not sure. It looks really cool. I like the art style and stuff, but it's definitely not as deep as Hollow Knight.
And Rubinite, what would you compare that to? Like, because I'm looking at the pictures here. Ooh. What does this feel like? Like Eldest Souls?
Remember that Eldest Souls game?
Yeah, that was my guess. Yeah, okay.
But I think Rubinite did it better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
there's
really
like a
cool.
skill tree and bosses and shit. So that looks interesting. They both have demos, by the way.
Yes, Rubinite kind of adapted the charm system that Hollow Knight used. And that's a good example of somebody taking something and putting their own spin on it. Whereas Constance kind of just copy pasted with less.
Just one-one'd it. Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, Dead by Daylight, they had a big Blood Moon event, and I played a little bit of Call of Duty. And now we're here.
Good.
Clair Obscur.
All right. Let's talk about it in a bit. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a peach soda from President's Choice.
Oh,
all right.
Sounds like a
Canadian
and
thing.
some name brand.
That sounds like a store brand.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm eating name brand Halls. If you can't tell, I have a little bit of a rasp in my voice.
You're sick. You just traveled, so you got the after travel sickness, but you sound fine. We're doing fine. All right, so we are going to
timing.
take a quick break, and we'll be back with our Clair Obscur Roundtable. Remember, if you want ad-free VGO, you can get that on our app or in our Discord by supporting us for $1.99. You get the whole back catalog of 20 years, ad-free VGO, and weekly bonus shows like PC Outsiders that we're doing this week.
Okay,
5,
but I'm not going to be
3,
judged.
2.
I'm not going to be measured. I'm not going to be quizzed.
You should be.
I'm going to.
You should be.
No.
Your whole worth as a man is how much video gaming you did with this game. So we're going to do the Clair Round Obscur.
Listen, I got
roundtable.
rid of a tree. Okay, when you're playing this,
yeah. Why didn't you call somebody?
Who's the man?
Why didn't you call somebody?
I'm out there with my fucking chainsaw, risking my life.
Aren't you an electrician? He's working every day. Why are you disparaging our guests? Like, come on, John.
Yeah, man, I work 12
working
hours
every
a day.
day.
Bag of tricks.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to do a Clair Obscur Roundtable, another Game Pass game that is worth buying, in my opinion. It's getting a lot of buzz
100%.
for a reason. Let's dig into it. So, John, how do you want to run this? How do you want to start this? You always tell me I got a bag of tricks and I'm going out of order. And like, how do you take care of this here? Go ahead.
All right. Well, this game came out everywhere, right? But it was a Game Pass game, and it's funny because I went on PlayStation over the weekend, and they're pushing the top games. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, every single one of these fucking games is on Game Pass.
That's a good thing.
I am doing this more, aren't I, with Sony? I don't know why, but
you
it's
are.
happening.
People are mad at you.
Why do you go there first?
Huh? What's that?
Why do you go there first?
I was there because of the fucking Days Gone bullshit.
Sure.
Do you understand?
He's a closeted
you're
Sony
subbed anyways.
fanboy. Yeah,
What?
he's deeply closeted, as Norm Macdonald would say for
I
Sony.
am deeply
Yes. He's deeply
I'm not gay. I'm
Yeah,
deeply
just-
closeted.
Of course,
I'm still
we
in the
understand. Yeah, we understand. We're there with you. So, this,
All right,
I
so this
believe
game-
this is from former Ubisoft developers
It
who
is.
left. 30 to 60 people. I don't know how many because I saw two different reports.
I saw 30. Okay.
I
Yeah,
heard
but people are
33.
saying, people were saying like, oh, but if you count the music or this or that. I mean, the soundtrack is amazing, by the way. If you like
it is. It's
Nier
very
or
artsy
Stellar
and
Blade type
beautiful.
stuff, the
They
soundtrack's
found
also
the
awesome.
artist on SoundCloud. That's where they
Wow.
got this.
It's
music
it's
artist.
beautiful.
It's awesome.
I
It's
noticed.
very fitting.
I noticed
Yeah.
it immediately. But
Yep.
yeah, so a lot of people are saying that the reason this game is possibly good is because these people left Ubisoft and don't have to deal with all that fucking baggage that's there.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and that's why they were able to kind of make it affordable as well, because it's only a $45 title if you get it on Steam. It's $35 on CD Keys right now, so it's a cheap game
Yep.
in my opinion.
Right.
It could have
Low
been
overhead.
60. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think people would have batted an eye if this was 60 or
No.
maybe even 70. Like, it does feel worth it. It feels like you can tell some things are not like completely AAA in some aspects, like very small things maybe with like I don't
Now,
know performance, but
I feel like it's
beautiful.
very polished.
It's
Okay, I have to
it's the most
ask-
beautiful game I've ever played. I just had to get that out of like my system. Like, it's gorgeous looking. Sorry, John. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I have to ask this question though because I did
Yeah.
not play this on my PC.
Okay.
I played it on the Series X, okay? And I did performance mode and I could tell that I could tell that there was good art that I was seeing.
Yeah, then you missed out. Like, the beauty of
but
this
it
game.
didn't I could tell that it didn't look
Yeah.
quite as good as it should on the
Oh
Xbox.
yeah, like the
hair
visuals
looked
are
like
insane.
in visual mode or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I know. I my instinct is to go performance no matter what. But
well,
there was things about like the characters and the hair, and I could just tell things were fuzzy on the Series X.
okay.
So I got to try it
Well,
on the
visually,
PC.
it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah,
graphically,
is the
it's
hair
beautiful.
good on the PC?
The hair is a little like the weakest point. There's definitely some
Okay.
thick strands. Maybe they want to like thin the hair strands out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's like at the detail of the level. I kept telling people like, look up, look around. It's like a Nolan movie. It's like, Inception. There's like pieces of things floating around and like you miss details. And the game is all about exploring. They don't handhold you at all. There's only a map when you're in the overworld zone. So I was getting lost. That's my like one kind of complaint, but it was intentional. They don't want you to know where you're going when you're in the subzones. And so I'm navigationally challenged and I was like going around in circles a bit. But every time I did, I would find some new little puzzle thing or some new way I could take. And I ended up kind of appreciating
rewarding.
it. Yes. But you don't
It's
expect
not
to
like
just
you're
blow
picking
through
up
this.
fodder items.
What
You're
would you
getting
compare this game
useful
to?
items.
Yeah, I guess we should roll back a little bit because, John, you're one of the people that came to me and was like, I didn't know this was turn-based. And I'm like, John, first of all, I reviewed the preview on air. Second of all, listen, all of the material. I know. Every boy tunes out women. They have to with their mother.
When I did the first turn-based combat thing, I'm like, really? This is turn-based?
I mean,
like
it's
Mario RPG? Did you play Mario RPG?
I did. Thank you.
Very similar to that. That's what I would like gameplay wise, combat wise. It's very similar.
When the combat happens, it felt very Japanese.
To me, it's like old school Final Fantasy meets Persona meets Baldur's Gate because of like the camping system and like the overworld map. Like it's got a lot of stuff going on. To me, it's like a French version of a JRPG. And so
I would agree with that because when I first encountered that combat, I'm like, this feels like a Japanese RPG game
it's turn-based real-time action. So you build up attacks. It's like builder spender, but there's all these quick time events that go on. And Ryan, we were talking about this, that the combat kind of feels like a dance because there's a lot of active movement and there's a counter parry and there's boss moves where you have to jump and then counter back. So you're dodging, you're jumping, you're parrying, and you're timing these sort of things.
Gradient parries.
Yep, that you get the gradient system later on, and we may get into some spoilers later with it if we will warn you at the end. But the combat, I think, is not something I would typically play or like, but I think the game is still worth playing, even if you don't like turn-based games. And I say that because I think it's a great story. I think there's great music, there's great visuals. The combat is like unique and different, where like even if it's not something you usually do or like, much like Baldur's Gate, I think it's worth kind of pushing through because it gets better the more you play. Like you're going to start to appreciate the combat, the talent system for all the characters, the skills you can equip, the pictos that you can swap around. And let's take
the combat doesn't even feel like turn-based once you get further into the game. There's so much going on with each battle and with each attack that the only thing turn-based about it is the fact that you choose your first move and then it explodes from there.
I could see that though,
so
because
immersive.
It's so active and you don't have time to breathe, really. Like, at least what I encountered.
Yeah, like, how far did you get, John? Not to make fun of you, but just so we know where you're at. Like, you got to the ship, like, or whatever, you shipped off. Like, did you...
Oh my God.
Did you get out into the overworld? What did you do?
No, I don't know. I'm talking to girls.
Oh, so you're not even there yet. You didn't get off the expedition.
No, I'm at the harbor.
Oh my God.
No.
How do we do a round table when you didn't even play?
I'm just the waiter.
Okay. All right. Well,
what do you want something?
Don was too busy sending his Amazon purchases last night.
Yeah,
he said he had the controller in his hand and he was going to play it.
This is worth playing and talking about. No,
okay, we'll talk about it. Don't let me drag you down.
You were supposed to play for the round table. How am I dragging you down?
I played the fucking goddamn rabbit game.
Yeah, for today for 10 minutes. Oh my God. You didn't get off the expedition. You didn't go off to the first zone. You didn't get to the first zone. First of all, I want to say like Charlie Cox, who is Daredevil, did a fucking banger performance, and I hate that word,
amazing.
But I couldn't Gustav is like, you believe these characters and you like these characters.
Right.
And even though he looks like the vampire glisten guy, what's his name?
What's going on with the 33
he really
thing,
does.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Edward Cullen, even though he looks like Edward Cullen, it's voiced by Daredevil, and it's also voiced by Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate, and the performances are really great. It also has Clive Rosfield in it, so it's got the guy from Final Fantasy, the guy who did him. Yeah, like there's so many good voices here, but you really do like the characters and believe in the characters and the story. It's already getting a film adaptation, so like I totally am behind like what they did here. Sorry, John, what were you asking?
It's getting a film adaptation, but the game itself is so cinematic. It's shot like a movie. Like each angle, the lighting, the flashing light, like it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's all about beauty. And I love to look at the visuals, but it's like trying to show you the beauty in death. And that's sort of the theme of the story. Now, John, you had some questions about the story right at the start, but you didn't get off the docks. But like the story pulls you in right away, right? Because you're going to see.
I was just curious about the story because there's a timer that's counting down, right? And the people who are that age vanish. Right?
Every year the paintress paints and people who are under or over a certain age die. Yes.
Right. So, but you have a suit on with a 33 on it. Your girlfriend, that girl, that little short hair girl,
Well, she's
she
not
dies.
your girlfriend. You haven't
whatever.
seen her
I
in
know
4
she's
years. She's your ex that you still love, and you
Whatever. I
wait
know,
until the
but
day
there's
before
something
she
going
died to
on
see
there.
her because you're a pussy.
I
That's the
understand.
story,
Well,
John.
John
Let's
was
keep it
talking about Mael.
There's something
Mael
going
is
on
like
there.
your
The
little-
younger girl?
Who's the 16-year-old girl, Mael. He's
the one
talking
at the
about
very beginning.
Yeah.
The one
girl-
that vanishes
the ex.
on the dock
The
with her.
ex-girlfriend.
With him.
Yes.
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 But she's a year older. Is that why she
Sophia?
vanished?
Yeah, she's older, so she's dying. Yeah.
And then and then they all have 33 suits and they go on an expedition, right?
They go
every-
on the expedition to kill the paintress.
Yes.
To end all the dying, essentially.
Yes, because every year more people are dying. There's only going to be kids left soon as the year gets lower. They don't have much time left. Didn't it start at 100? So
Yeah.
first everyone
Yeah,
under
it
100
started
died.
around 100,
So they're
yeah.
running out
It's
of
been
people. You're going to be
67
sending
years.
toddlers
I
to
did
fight
the
the
quiz.
paintress soon. So yeah, that's going to be bad. They better hurry up. Will he do it? I don't know. But yeah, so I was sucked into the story right away. The whole painter's thing, like the whole game feels and looks like a painting. It has a flow to it, has a beauty. They nailed it, like you said, Ryan. Like the theme is very tight here. That like every angle, every shot, like
Everything.
really like attention to detail is off the charts.
Games don't normally grip me like this. Like the story, I don't really get involved in stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to describe it. This is like a once in a while game, right? You get one of these that are just truly special, and they really did an amazing job with everything. I think the story, the graphics, the cinematics, the gameplay, the combat, your little moments at camp with everybody, all your little relationships that you kind of grow as the story progresses. It's yeah, I haven't been able to put it down.
Yeah, I mean, even like I keep going back to Baldur's Gate because like I really did think the story and the performances were really well done in Baldur's Gate. And I've heard from people saying, well, I couldn't play it because I hate turn-based. And now I'm hearing that same thing again about this game. I do feel that this combat is more accessible than Baldur's Gate. Even though it is turn-based, I think it's very accessible and easy to pick up and do. You can put it on easy. If you hate turn-based, you're still going to feel more active because you're not just sitting around and waiting a lot. You're either trying to figure out what to do or you're going to be dodging a boss attack. And the parry is kind of fun. I've heard it feels like a turn-based Sekiro type parry. Like the timing's very tight if you don't play.
Yeah,
easy.
almost. I can see that.
Yeah, and people said that like that if like you actually want a challenge, like put it on hard. And if you think you hate turn-based games, you're going to appreciate the skill and timing it takes to be able to counter and parry properly. So I think
It is so satisfying to get into a fight and like you get killed. Like later in the game, you're going to get annihilated
shot.
by some of
Yep.
these bosses that are hitting you 7-8 times.
yep.
And then once it clicks and you learn the pattern and the rhythm and whatever cues that it gives you for the parry and you start parrying every hit, oh my gosh, it's so satisfying.
And
It is
like
it's so
I said,
cool.
there's no map, but like if you pull up a map in the game, like I'm sorry, like for the game, there's all these things all over
Yeah.
the map with these hidden things that you would like costumes on hidden bosses and certain pictos
Oh,
that
so
are
you're
only on
cheating.
certain bosses. No, I'm not cheating. I'm saying like
But they
they're-
hide it so well.
They hide all this stuff. Like if you're a collector, you'd be like amazed how much shit is really on this map. It's more
I
than
know
you
I've
think
missed
just running
a
through
ton
it.
of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like even
Does
at the
this game
start.
get
And I'm
Does this
looking.
game get stupid hard with the turn-based stuff? Is it
I
annoying?
wouldn't say stupid hard.
Okay.
I think it becomes a bit of trial and error as you get to the harder difficulty sections. Like you know you're going to go into a fight, you're not coming out first try. Like from my experience, you go in, you kind of take a few hits, learn a bit of the pattern, start using the dodge instead of the parry to kind of get the timings right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for bosses especially, I won't go into a fight winning first try, not the late game bosses at least. But it doesn't get annoying for me, I don't think.
No, I mean, it makes you want to rethink your builds and stuff too. Like, oh, okay, should I swap
Yeah.
my talents? Do I want to swap this weapon? This person's weak to lightning or whatever. There's some like kind of like, I don't know, planning and thinking. But even without all that, like just the experience of running around and leveling up at the flags and like, what's the next zone going to be? Like, I'm playing this just to kind of see the zones in the story. Yes, I think the combat is unique and cool. I am enjoying it. But I would put the combat for me as the weakest part of this game. Like, I am not someone who
Really?
plays. Yeah, I don't play Persona. I don't do like old school, like, I don't know, turn-based stuff like the old school Final Fantasy. It's not something I like action combat. Like I would prefer if this was an open world action game. I'm not even going to lie. I would like it more.
So would you
but I
say
still
you're
really
one of
like
those
it.
people that are like, no, turn-based, no, but I'm playing it anyways, and you're still
Yes.
enjoying it?
Exactly. I'm
And
here
I
to
think,
say
I think
like
more people need to do that.
yeah, like if you're like me and you don't typically play a lot of turn-based stuff, I still think it's worth playing. And that's where I'm at with, like, it's a good enough game where it's worth playing and it's really fun and unique and a great experience, even if it's not your typical combat. And like I said, would I have preferred they weren't portaled little worlds? I would have loved an interconnected world with different zones and not feeling as linear down certain paths. I would have preferred that. I'm an open world RPG gamer. I'm an action combat gamer. But even with that, like, not being my typical thing, this is so well done and well crafted. I think it's kind of a must play for every gamer. It's one of those games. Now, is it the best game ever made? People are asking, no. But it's like up there where, like, if you want to appreciate something, and like the whole joke of video game is our art, this game is art. Like, it is. It's like, it is like beauty in all ways. And like, for such a small team, for 30 people, like, this was the talent in Ubisoft. You wonder why Ubisoft games suck? Well, the good people left, and they're making stuff like this.
Bringing up the scores for AC Shadows and this. And like, you let every good dev go. And it's
right. Yeah.
It just goes to show you where passion and like true like game developer passion will bring out a good game.
Yep.
Yeah,
good
I mean,
game,
based on what I saw in this game.
You didn't get to the first zone.
John,
you didn't get to the expedition.
Okay, well then I'll just
back.
not speak. Goodbye.
Oh, he gets so sensitive about the fact that he didn't play the round table game. We're just saying, like, please go back and go see.
Well,
like,
I know, so I can't even say anything. I was going to say,
what did
based
you think
on
about, did you fight the mime on the docks? Did you get into any of the combat there? I don't remember if there's much combat.
I fought some fucking girl on the pier.
He means Mael, who's your party member, and you can do you can get a token from her if you duel her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not some fucking girl on the pier. Like, she's on your side. At least, like, I don't know.
She's so good too.
She's very overpowered. Like, the first time you fight her, you're like, what the hell? But yeah, I don't know, John. Are you just uninterested in it?
No, I'm not no,
Okay.
it was just a time constraint. That's all it was.
Okay.
So if you want to throw me under a bus, go for it. But
throwing you under a bus.
I'm not throwing you under a bus. I just want to know why you didn't play. Like, did you hate it? Did you?
No, I didn't hate it. That's what I was trying to tell you. But you're saying, well, you can't talk because you didn't play enough. So shut up.
I didn't say you can't talk. I said, please get to the first zone.
That's what I heard. But
you're hearing that because you're internally guilty because you know you failed. Don't take it out on me.
I at least experienced the art of the game, and I noticed it immediately.
John,
because
we do
I
a
played
show where we
million
review
games.
games. You're going, I experienced the art of the game. Like, that's why we're giving you shit. You deserve it. You should be laughing along with us. You know you deserve shit for not playing our roundtable game.
I know. I made the decision. Okay, my plan was I played an hour or whatever on Sunday, and my plan was to play at least 1 to 2 hours today. And I just got caught up in the fucking World of Goo and the Rabbit game. So kill me.
All right. But no, I think it's worth you looking at, John. But
I understand, but I was so in awe of the kind of romantic thing that was going on in this game. It was very, very French, very like the main guy with with the bushy brown hair and the beard.
Do you know the main guy, the main character's name?
Okay.
Dig deep.
Did you guys go up to the building on the side?
Are we gonna do this? Are you gonna quiz me on every fucking goddamn thing?
Well, you don't know the main character's name. Laugh about it. You didn't play the game. Why are you're sensitive when you can't even laugh about it? What's the big deal? You don't know the main character's name. Say no, I don't. I didn't play and laugh about it. Why are you getting mad?
I did play though. I don't remember his game, but I don't even know barely know the name of the fucking rabbit. So his name's Gustav.
Yes, thank you, chat. Thank you, Ryan. He looks like Robert Pattinson, as everybody says. And I think Pierce Brosnan shows up. He definitely does. You're insane if you don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
Robert Pattinson, yep, 100%.
He looks more like the guy from the piano or whatever.
What? He doesn't look like Adrian Brody.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Does he have a nose the size of my head?
He looks more like Adrian Brody.
No, he doesn't. The internet's saying Robert Pattinson like I'm saying. You're crazy,
he looks more
John.
like Adrian Brody than...
You're blind and you don't even know his name. So anyway, do you have any complaints, Ryan? Because you're like the most positive about this. If they were to make a second version of this game, what would you change, if anything? Or do you think it's perfection?
Like you said, I think the portal worlds could be done differently. I think I like how they kind of stuck with the traditional, like you play, I forget the name of the game, but they pop you out into this kind of artsy little world where you're small and you run around. Mm-hmm. I think they could have done that in an open world sense, I think you said, or like a semi-open world.
Yep.
Maybe even compared to like Avowed, where you travel between each massive section.
Yeah.
Instead of
was kind
zooming
of
out.
jarring to change perspectives randomly. And then you're also changing perspectives again at camp. So you're kind of in 3 different perspectives in a weird way or something.
And I would also
I think there's some things you should ask Michelle about the game that she maybe...
Go ahead, ask me.
I will.
Go on, ask her. Go on, ask her. Go on.
I just want to say one thing. There was
No, ask her about something. Ask her.
Okay, what do you think about
the new furry guy moment, Mom? I got to him and you love him.
No, Rye.
Monoko? I love Monoko.
You better be good here,
Manoko's
Rye.
awesome.
Rye, listen.
Okay, you're with me on him. Because at first people are saying they're all too cutesy and stuff.
I would say that you need a way to restart a battle. A couple times I go in, get absolutely stomped. And like I feel a lot of turn-based games give you the option to run away.
Right, you're not asking Michelle any questions. Please.
Because I've been talking about it all week with him in Discord. I've played 12 hours of it.
Right. Listen, I assure you there's something she doesn't know. So let's find out what it is. Quiz her on characters' names and bios. Character names, bios,
You're
things like
lashing
that,
out
like
at me because you don't know the main character's game. You said
Gustav.
I quote, fight some broad on the pier.
No, little girl. She was a little girl. What was inaccurate about what I said?
John, you didn't know the character's name because you didn't play. Don't lash out at me because you failed.
I don't know. I don't even know the name of the girl in Indiana Jones.
You didn't do the one assignment for the show, and you're lashing out at me. I don't even know the fucking
girl. And ask me the name of the girl in Indiana Jones. I don't know her fucking name. Okay, that's just
John,
me.
You didn't know the main character's name. Yeah, it's like not knowing Indiana Jones.
The girl's name in Indiana
Gustav.
Jones. She's a main character. What's her name?
Literal Act 1 is called Gustav, but you didn't.
He didn't get to Act 1. He didn't get off the pier. He didn't get to the expedition.
I'm comfortable with this. I'm okay with it.
Then why are you lashing out at me saying ask her something? What does that have to do with me?
Because your bag of tricks is going to drill John. I knew it was happening.
Drill John? I just asked if you knew the main character's name.
Listen, when I made this decision to invest more time in the fucking rabbit game,
played on it. John, you could have played before the rabbit game today. Why are you doing everything last minute?
I knew when I made the decision to play the rabbit game, I was going to get shit, and I said, I don't care.
You deserve shit. You failed. Bring back bullying. B? All right, so, I mean, what is your problem? I asked him what he would change, and that's it.
Ryan, I want you to ask her some very...
but she already
common
spoke
specifics
the most on the game.
It's his time. I asked his opinion. I want to hear from him. I've spoken enough. I want to know what he would change as someone who's like, because I like the game. I feel like you really fell in love with this game, and I want to know, like, you know,
but I haven't played. So Metaphor didn't really grab me. I don't know. I'm going to go back and try that demo again because
Metaphor didn't grab me either, but this did, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Is it because of the theme here?
Metaphor, I kind of grabbed.
Metaphor was so much talking.
Way quicker. What?
It was a lot of talking, but this game has a lot of talking too. They just do it in bursts and like I spent.
John, you're mad at me because you didn't know the main character's name. The talking in Metaphor seems way more excessive in this game, from my experience.
I think so.
It's just are you mad at how I talk, John? Are you mad?
No.
Should I talk? Should I?
No,
how do you want me to sound, John?
It's fine. I don't care. I'm perfectly comfortable with all this.
I don't think you're comfortable, John, because you didn't know who Gustav was.
I don't.
Okay?
And I don't.
And now you're lashing out at me because you didn't play our one round table.
There's a million characters I don't know their names.
You're a fashionable poser.
I'm far from it.
John, what was our goal for the week? To play and review Clair Obscur. Did you not? Did you do it? No.
Play the fucking goddamn rabbit game.
Me after I talked about the game, and I'm turning
that's
to Ryan
about
to say,
die.
"No, your turn to talk."
That was important to me. Okay.
All right.
I do feel like each character is very unique, not just in their personality, but in their combat and their gameplay.
Listen, this rabbit is struggling.
John, nobody's talking about the rabbit. They're talking about this game. Nobody's talking about the rabbit.
Well,
the rabbit didn't sell a million copies on the first day, okay?
Okay.
Which is crazy.
The guy looks like Adrian Brody. He looks nothing like the guy from Twilight. I'm sorry.
He looks everything like him and looks nothing like Adrian Brody.
He looks nothing like the guy from Twilight.
And I like large noses.
The guy from Twilight looks nothing like that.
It's a bit too much, okay? It's a bit too much.
Brody looks more like Monaco.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He looks nothing like...
He looks exactly like him. That's why everybody's saying it. I'm sorry you're blind. It also didn't know his name.
Crazy.
Okay? I'm not. I'm actually pretty sane. Anyway, what else? John, you're derailing this entire roundtable because you didn't play it and you're so bitter about it. You're lashing out at us.
Bitter.
Yes, you're bitter. You're bitter because you didn't play the game that you were supposed to play. That's the topic on everybody's tongue this week. Yeah.
And your tongue.
Is that a sexual
Kevin Smith
innuendo?
skins. I got Kevin Smith skins going on right now. Right?
Yeah.
Do you?
No,
Have
I don't want them.
$60 on
Call
skins?
of Duty is shit.
I thought for sure you would get John Black Ops.
No, I didn't get. I'm Kevin Smith now. That's who I am. I'm
yep. So we're talking about Call of Duty during our Clair Obscur roundtable. No, that's where John is taking us to.
One of the games of the year, and we're going to talk about Call of Duty.
No, please don't go there. But yeah, there is some light, like, I don't know. What do you think of like the platforming or like climbing up, like the climbing and everything?
I honestly haven't done much of that.
Yeah, like
Ryan,
the
could
climbing
you
is
just ask
awkward.
Michelle questions
between
instead,
the levels.
please?
What did you think about the platforming, Michelle?
Well, they're
No,
like the climbing
get a little
expedition
deeper
did this
about,
one, right?
like,
They get a little
systems and
deeper, like the
things.
main character's name. Let's start with
Ask
that.
about systems.
We've been talking about systems all week in Discord and sharing screenshots and being involved in the
Okay.
conversation and community. Why don't you try it at some point in your life?
Get a little
Okay,
deeper
why don't
about
you
stuff.
try it?
Like
I
about
don't think I need to ask Michelle anything because she's
is there
been
some
talking
I've
is
already
there
talked
some
about
merchant
it.
is there
I've
some
been vocal
merchant
about
named
it.
Steve or something that you could ask her about?
Knowing
Like,
a weird
No, the
I like how you have
merchants
to
are
fight the
gestrels.
merchants. Yeah, it's cool how you have to fight
Oh, I
them to
love that.
unlock
Actually, that's
more
pretty
stuff
cool.
from
Oh yeah.
them.
So what?
Yeah.
So did you
Exactly,
meet
John.
Steve
You know
in
that
the
if you
West
got
Forest?
you got off the boat.
Did you meet-
before
Some
the
of those merchants
expedition
can
took off?
kick
John
ass.
didn't
Did you
even
meet?
go on it.
Did you meet Steve in West Forest? Oh my God, that was crazy, right, Michelle?
John, I'm sorry you didn't know the main
Did you
character's
meet-
name.
did you
There's
meet
no reason to
Steve?
lash out on me.
Do you remember Steve in West Forest, Ryan? Wasn't that
There is a
unbelievable?
Steve in West Forest. Yeah. it's
Yeah.
crazy.
he's great.
That
Yeah,
was
if you
nuts.
beat him, you
Did
unlock a hat.
Michelle, did you get to West Forest? Oh, you did.
Yeah, I did. I played like 12 hours, John. So
Did you get to West Forest?
It's supposed to be a 30-hour game, but honestly, it might
Did you
take me
get to
more.
West Forest?
John,
I'm
I got
25
everywhere.
hours in. I'm nowhere
Yeah.
close to be
Uh-huh.
I
honest.
know. Like this game is way
Right.
more than the 30 hours people are saying. Like, because I thought it was just
Right.
me running around lost,
Now,
but everybody.
did
has
you
been
get to
saying they're
Tricky
doing that.
Caverns?
John, what's the name of the main character again?
Right, you're
Did
at
you-
Tricky Caverns, right? What do you think
This
of that
guy
section?
is so bitter because he didn't do his assignment. Imagine
I'm
being a
just asking,
college
did you get to
professor
Tricky
and
Caverns?
little
You didn't play
Johnny
it, John,
didn't
but
write his
what?
paper, and then he's attacking you because of it. Hey, John, do you have your paper to hand in? No, Miss Madison, I don't. Did you do it? Yeah, I did.
We're here to tell the viewers and everybody about the game. Maybe some
Yeah.
people are on the fence about buying
Okay,
it.
well,
I'd say
I
if you're
was
on the
fine
fence
with
about
this situation
turn-based
because I
combat,
knew you guys
give
played
this a
it.
chance.
But you
So
didn't
I was-
play, and you were supposed
I
to.
was
People
more
want your
concerned
opinion.
about the
They
rabbit.
want to know, what does John think, because he doesn't play these types of games or any game. So what does John think? And then
No.
you
He
didn't
does,
even
though. If
give
he
them
played
that.
Metaphor,
Yeah, he played it.
I think
for like
John's got a track
20
record
minutes.
of playing
Yeah.
33 minutes
Now-
of a game.
He played it for 20
Sticky
minutes.
Caverns, though,
He
that
didn't
was
even close
tough,
the first
right?
Oblivion gate. The guy does not game. Okay, he plays Call of Duty. All right, and then he
That's
shits
a
on
game, by the way.
PlayStation. He shits on PlayStation, and he plays Call of Duty. That is what he does.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's important that you bring up the on the fence thing. My point was, I don't love turn based. I did really love this game. I can say love. I'm enjoying it. There's some things I'd fix. I would want a map. I would want a mini map. I would want open world. I would
Mini
maybe
map would be very nice.
give me more stuff to do during the combat, like maybe one or two more active abilities along with the dodge. Like I think they should double down on the sort of active turn based.
So
Like
you
that is
do
their
get
thing.
a couple things later on.
The
You
new
get your
paint.
gradient attacks,
Wait,
gradient
wait.
parries. You get jumping.
Michelle, do you have those?
Yes, I have gradient. Yes, but you're still not actively hitting a skill like on your
Ryan,
like,
do
a,
you
like an
believe
action
that she
bar.
really has
Right.
those? Ask
No,
her
I do.
You can
specifics
see I
about them.
have.
Ask her
You
specifics
can look it
about
up in my account that I have it. Like, what are you talking
Did you
about?
play on controller or keyboard?
No, I played mouse and keyboard. Yeah,
Really? How'd you?
I don't
Did you
mind
like it?
Yeah, no, it's only E and F really, and kind of swapping between different characters. Like, there's not.
Yeah, I guess after you choose your move, it's just like two buttons. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like it was annoying that it was like E and F together, and I was like, why am I swapping back and forth? But they do recommend a controller, but you don't really need it.
Yeah.
It's kind of seems like a good Steam Deck game because there's not much. I mean, the
I
combat
did play
is
it on the Steam Deck.
okay.
Natively did not run very well. I didn't do anything with like trying to enhance it in any way.
Okay,
It did work very well streaming it though from my PC. So I had my PC on playing the game and it ran very well. Like it was
To the
smooth.
Steam Deck?
Yes. The pairing was smooth, the dodging was smooth. Everything worked great like that, but I don't think it's quite ready to run natively on the deck.
right. There's that lossless
But I did
scaling.
see some
say
people-
helps or whatever.
Yeah. So some people were tweaking their settings and stuff. I didn't really get into that. It would have been nice, but honestly, I like the cinematic. I like playing it at
Yep.
my computer, and definitely a game I'm going to sit down and play either on a TV or on my PC.
I would not play this on a handheld just because you're missing out on the visuals, which is so much of the beauty of this game.
Yeah.
Like every zone I'm stopping, I'm looking around, I'm enjoying it. So yeah, for me, it's a must try. Check it out on Game Pass or pick it up. We are giving away 2 keys in our Discord to the first tier 2 subscriber. And also we have it in giveaways. So do it, come on down. And thank you, cdkeys.com. They got a great deal on it for $34 right now. Let's move on before John gets mad.
I'm not mad. Everything's fine.
You are mad. You're mad that you didn't know the main character's name, so you're telling him to ask me questions as if I didn't just talk about it for 30 minutes.
Here's the thing. I knew what I was doing to myself by not playing more of this.
Then why are you bitching about it?
Are you going to give it another try?
The thing is, I knew what was going to happen. And I'm like,
Molly, is it already?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
you can't
fine. We're still giving
anticipate that, though.
What's that?
That you knew it was going to happen. Then it's going to happen. Gotta go in with a different mindset.
I know Michelle very well. Okay, I knew this was going to happen. I just knew it.
If you played it, it wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
Right. And you didn't get off the pier, John. You didn't even start the game.
Okay, here's the thing, too. I was told that I needed to get past Act 1, and just that request alone made me not want to do it.
It's not my fault you're dysfunctional and defiant because you had bad parents, John. It's not my fault that getting an instruction makes you do the opposite because you're a defiant cocksucker. That's a flaw in your personality.
I said several times
I said try to get through Act 1.
More than once,
so we
I was
can
told
talk
to do
about
this. And I decided,
are you going to continue playing?
And because of that,
is
it
that
made
bad?
me not
so
want to do it.
So it's my fault that you didn't play. You're blaming me that you didn't play because I said, "Hey, play the game so we can talk about it."
So I knew
going
into this.
Cunt. She said, "Play the game so we can talk about it." What?
I knew going into this what I was doing to myself.
But look at how you're manipulating and gaslighting and trying to blame me for your flaws. This is 101, honey. This is what you're doing. So stop right now. Roll back. John, you made the choice to not play. You knew this was our roundtable game. You made the choice to not play. It's not his fault. It is not my fault. It is your fault. You made the choice to not play.
I'm not blaming you.
You are. You said because I said get through Act 1, it made you not want to play. Then that's a problem with you.
I knew the outcome of it. All right,
like
Michelle.
what?
Don, are you going to progress the game anymore?
He won't. He will never turn it on again.
I'd rather play Oblivion, to be honest.
He won't play that again either.
How far are you in Indiana Jones now?
I'm in the Himalayas.
He has not closed a gate in Oblivion. He will never get off the expedition in Clair Obscur. Okay, he will never play Legend of Zelda again. All of these things are not going to happen. Okay, so he will never turn on Rusty Rabbit again. Right?
That I might turn back on.
No, he will never turn that back on.
I have the tendency. I can feel where John's coming from. I have the tendency to do that. I start so many games, but there's always one or two in between that truly just say, "No, you're playing this. You're getting through this first mission.
Yep.
Whatever it is, this is one of those games for me."
It's worth the playthrough of it.
All right,
well,
I think so.
Let's move right into like the news about the film though, because I am excited for this. Like it happened fast.
Yeah, I just heard about that.
Live action film adaptation. I'm glad about that. It's in the works already, even though the game just came out.
That was like the first thing you said on day one. You were like,
I said this needs to be a movie. Everybody. Yeah, I mean, well, video game movies are hot right now. Video game series, movies, right? And they acted on it fast. And whether or not it was in the works before, but it's happening. And I think it's exciting because that means we're probably going to get another one of these games. And it could be a world. It could be a whole thing. And we don't get new IPs often that like blow you away.
No. It's one of the highest rated games of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
This game?
It's got a 9.7 universal claim.
Let's calm down about that.
92.
John, you didn't play.
Metascore.
It's a special. It's a special game. It's a special game, even if it's not your thing. Like it's definitely like crafted with love, and it's special. Like you're shitting on it. You didn't even play it, John. Let's not say it's high rated. What's your problem?
Every rating is over a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, John.
There's not one. Oh,
what's
wait,
your problem?
sorry.
Let's
King
hear it.
Lobotomus.
No, it's fine. Okay.
No, you just said, "Well, okay, it's not good." It's not good. You didn't play. Like you turned on the first cutscene.
Because I'm smart enough to know, and I've been doing this long enough to know that those bold statements aren't going to last more than a month.
Ryan
or two.
and I aren't smart, even though we've played combined 30 hours of the game.
When things average out,
that's the nature of the game.
When things average out down the road, that's not going to be the story. I assure you.
I think it will.
Okay,
I think this game is special.
There's no live service. You're not going to be playing it for a long period of time. people are in and out with their experience, and I think these ratings are going to continue to come in. I don't think it drops below 90.
They said DLC is possible too. I think this game is only going to get more and more attention. Honestly, the fact that it sold as well as it did while being on Game Pass,
while Oblivion launched,
because let's not forget about that. And that definitely took a lot of people after Oblivion are going to discover this game. The word's going to get out that it's worth playing, even if you don't like turn-based like me. I think the love is only going to get more for this game. And John's negative about it, and he didn't even play it. So
I'm not negative about it. I'm just being realistic.
You said you're smart enough to know it's not deserved to be well rated.
I'm being realistic
Ryan,
about
we're so
these
dumb
bold
and simple.
statements.
I've been gaming since I was fucking 3 years old on my father's lap, and I think this game is special. Is it the best thing ever made? Probably not, but I think every gamer should check it out.
Don't
I stand by
don't
that
try
statement.
to trump me on that kind of
I
stuff.
agree.
I will trump you. I've been gaming and
John
I've
was
gamed more
gaming in the
hours than
womb.
you. Even though you're older than me, I have gamed more hours than you.
Don't try
Please
to trump me on that.
I will trump you.
Stuff.
I have
That
gamed
you will
more
not win
hours
that.
than you, even though you're way
Okay.
older than me. I have gamed more hours than you. Yeah, I will trump you on it. Okay? Did you know the main character's name in this game? No, you're a casual,
Gustav.
bro. You're a casual. All right, let's talk about some news since John's bitter.
I'm not bitter. I'm being attacked for some reason.
Oh, you're being called out and shit talk because you didn't play our roundtable game? Wow, that's confusing. Who could have ever anticipated that? Oh, you, because you told us you knew what was going to happen.
But I told you before the show, and I knew at that moment that I was
John,
setting myself up, and then
you're
you
just
went
digging
for
your
the
grave
juggler.
deeper like Rusty. I always go for the juggler. I'm a woman. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
All right, man.
Let's
Gaming news. We got Borderlands 4 is releasing earlier, and people are thinking that it might be a tease to when GTA 6 is coming out because they want to
State of
avoid
Play
that
announced
launch
for
window.
tomorrow. They pushed up the release date for Borderlands with a State of Play. April 30th. September 12th is the new launch date. It's been bumped. Are you guys excited for Borderlands? Because to me, I don't
think kids know what this is.
I'm a little excited for it. I did really enjoy 3. I thought it was just a fun, action-packed game. Nothing special. I know a lot of the diehard Borderlands fans didn't really like the story or like the way the game went, the direction.
Yeah.
But as somebody that was new to the series of Borderlands 3, it was a lot of fun. Just
so you didn't play the second one?
Shooter fun. No, not until after.
Okay.
You didn't play the second one?
After 3.
That's different than not playing the round table for the week, John, just so you know. If you played out of order. No, I did like Borderlands 2. I played with my friends, but I always thought it was a little overrated. Like, I liked it, but I think like the first one, because of the graphics, the cell shading at the time was like why it kind of was like got attention. But, you know, this one's supposed to be the next level. Like, we learned from the third one, people didn't like, we're back. It's next level. It's graphically whatever. So I'm definitely excited to check out the game, but who knows?
I think it's kind of meh.
Not a good track records for shooters right now. All these new ones coming.
No. But could this release date be like, we don't want to release around GTA 6?
Do you think they even
maybe
know?
They know something.
Like,
maybe they know. They might.
Do they know? Why would they know?
Do you think Rockstar would give everybody the light of day or the time of day?
Why would
for GTA 6?
Maybe because they want to like own the time. They're going to. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. But I'm kind of with John where I'm like,
every dev is anticipating GTA 6's release date. And
once they release the release date, people will move. People will move dates. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's going to be one of those games. So they did cancel a new Titanfall game that was in the works.
It has to be a Thanksgiving title.
You think so?
GTA. I mean, I think like a week or two before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that is true. Borderlands and GTA are both Take-Two Interactive games, so they would know. So that could be a hint, like you're saying, Ryan. Yeah. Well, I don't really care about.
You still play Infinity Nikki, Michelle?
No, I stopped playing.
It's out update.
It's out on Steam now. It's I think John would like that game. But yeah, Infinity Nikki was like that dressed up game where you're dressed to save the world over. I think like your fiance might like that game if she didn't try it. But it's actually getting like bad reviews on Steam for some reason because of the performance. But I played on PC on their launcher and I thought it was fine. So I don't get it. It was an Unreal 5 game and it actually looked really good. But Infinity Nikki is now out on Steam and I do like that. And honestly, there's a lot of these like crossover PC mobile games that are actually really good. Like Withering Waves or something just hit Steam as well. My friend was playing that and really liked it. I never have. I might check it out for our Weeb episode, but I've heard like tons of people that love that game. And that's another mobile PC crossover.
A lot of people liked it because it wasn't Hoyoverse. And there were like finally some competition in the scene for gacha and all that stuff. and it's really like a Genshin Impact competitor.
Okay.
I've never played it. I know a lot of people really
people
love
go
it.
nuts for it. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't know anything about it. I watched one fight. They were like showing the feet and outfits and stuff. I was like, this is weird. What's happening?
They do that a lot.
They do that a lot.
They're very generous with the free pulls compared to the other games. That's what I've heard.
Okay. So I might have to check that out. We've got like a Weeb episode coming up in a couple of weeks with CC Games. But yeah, that as well as even like I said, that Hello Kitty Adventure Island crossover PC mobile game that I ended up loving, which I thought was better than Animal Crossing. All right, news-wise, John, what did you want to bring up? We got a lot of stuff in news.
Well, the Switch just had a big firmware update preparing the current Switch for the Switch 2's launch, and they added basically if you install firmware 20, which just came out, you can start doing the virtual card system where you could start loaning games to your friends, the digital games,
if they're part of your family share or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it, but I believe that's the case. Yeah,
I think it's more than just family share, isn't it? You can lend games to only certain amount of people at once. I don't think they have to be on your family.
I think
share,
they have to
unless
be.
I'm mistaken.
I thought they had to be like in an 8 up to like certain person group, but I don't know.
Maybe in like a bubble or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You choose who's in it.
They have to have a cooldown on it too. Like Steam Family Share is like a cooldown, so you can't bounce around. Otherwise you just do that. But that's an interesting question. I'm sure, John, you can try it with Matt.
Users will be able to lend one game at a time for 2 weeks. After which the titles will automatically return to the purchasing user. So I'm not seeing anything that says they need to be in your family account.
Okay.
A game can be shared with up to 3 other systems at a time.
This optional feature allows you to view virtual game cards or eject them from your console. The digital game can also be lent to a Nintendo account family group members console.
Yeah, family group. See, you have to be in a
via
family
local
group.
wireless connection, though.
Oh, so they got to be right next to you.
Oh, local wireless.
Games that you lend can then be played on a Nintendo account family group members console for 2 weeks. Oh, so they don't want people doing this shit like on Reddit or Discord, right? Like,
yeah, they have to be there and then they get 2 weeks. You have to be physically together first. So if you're about to break up with somebody.
That's kind of what I'm reading here, yeah.
Yeah, that's shitty. That's not even a good family share. Because like I share with my sister and there's sometimes 2 weeks I'm not at her house. Like, it's stupid.
That's weird. We didn't pick up on that before. So you have to be in the same room to lend the cartridge?
Yeah, they think of it as a physical thing you're handing to somebody. I guess that would be the justification.
Right. I know. I think it's cool that they're adding these features to the current Switch. I think that they're kind of considering the Switch as like, I think they think the current Switch is going to be like the Switch 2 Lite, essentially, right? And they're going to keep it around. Mm-hmm. Don't you think? Mm-hmm. It's like we have 2 choices now. The original Switch and the Switch 2, they both play the same games. It looks a little bit better on the Switch 2. They both have the same features now, or some of them.
I think it's going to be more akin to like the 3DS versus the new 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little bit better hardware. You can play both games on the original one, or sorry, on the newest one, but only certain games can be played backwards.
Well, that's a shitty family share then. If it's really physical in person but I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. Because some people used to have trouble. I've heard if they had multiple Switches, they couldn't get a game from one Switch to another easily.
Yeah, I've had that issue.
Which is crazy because some people had lights or they had a bunch of kids.
So I don't think, okay, here's what it says. Your virtual game cards are accessed through virtual game cards on the home menu. Once linked together, you can freely swap your virtual game cards, back and forth between up to 2 consoles as long as they are powered on and have an active internet connection. Oh, those are your consoles though, right?
Yeah. Those are yours.
Yep.
All other users on your console that can load virtual game cards can also play your games or DLC if they are loaded to the console.
But wouldn't that just be the same as me having an original Switch under my profile and then logging into my new Switch with my normal profile?
Okay, here's how to lend. Okay, here's the definitive answer right here. This is on Nintendo's website, support. How to lend and borrow virtual game cards. Number 1, bring one of your consoles that can load virtual game cards and the console of the person that you want to lend the game card close to each other.
Oh my God, you got to touch.
Make sure both consoles are connected to the internet. On your console, select virtual game card, select the user link to your Nintendo
that's
Nintendo
not family
account.
share anymore. That's household share, which
Select
should be
the
done
game you want to
anyway.
lend. Select lend to family group member. Select
If I have to
select the
lend to
user
somebody
to lend.
in my house with another console, if I'm living with them, I
No,
can't.
because by the way they made it seem, you can lend to friends as well. So I guess
You have
we'll
friends
have
if
to
they come over.
wait for more.
They gotta bump
info.
switches.
Yeah, they have to be there.
You know,
you gotta bump
so
switches.
You do. You gotta tap switches.
I mean, it sure says on the Nintendo site that you have to be in the same room.
Yeah.
It
Probably
says
gotta
put
be in the same Wi-Fi network. Yeah.
It says put the two switches close to each other.
Well, it's like my iPhone. You get a new one, you clone it. It could be something like that too. It's like copying it close.
Right.
It's more than just the same Wi-Fi network. They have to be actually close to each other physically.
Yeah, game share. Compatible software can be shared from Nintendo Switch 2 system to other nearby systems to play to other nearby systems. So
Yeah, you must be
I'm
on
going to
a
be
rooftop
meeting
party,
dudes
so.
in a parking lot. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be
is
a
this
whole
the new
Craigslist thing.
Craigslist
You wanna
hookup
touch
thing?
switches?
Yes.
Grinder. Yeah, must have Switch with
Right.
Mario Kart. Let's meet
Yeah.
at the 7-Eleven.
Hey, bro, man, I'll let you play Tears of the Kingdom, man, if you give me the new Donkey Kong.
The thing is, John, I'm gonna lend you a
Alright, bro.
game, and you're
What?
not even gonna play it, and then it's
No,
gonna be
that's
off of my
true.
library for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll just sit there while he complains.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you what, man, meet me at the picnic table in the forest.
Nobody's
preserve.
doing that.
What?
Nobody's doing that. Now, GameStop
No.
could do it.
They're
GameStop should
gonna
have one
meetups
master
for
account,
sure.
right?
Oh my
Where they
God.
have a
Yeah, what if this
Yeah.
becomes like a meetup thing? This is
like a
like
mom
rental.
and pop. Yeah. Like Kevin, if you're listening, which we know you are, do this at your shop. You have one main Nintendo account. You get people to come in. They pay you 10 a month.
Here's what you do, Kevin.
Yep.
Get some tape and make a square on the floor and
Okay.
say this is a virtual cartridge trading zone.
This is a sharing
right?
zone. Here's 4 feet.
Yes.
Don't cross it. Don't eye contact.
Get in the square, maybe get a couple lawn
Would
chairs
Nintendo
and
sue him?
a plant.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He's within his right of
trading
lending the
zone.
games.
A
He's
trading
using
zone.
their system to do it.
It's not his household, though. It's his business, and he's making
Oh wait,
money.
Michelle. Okay, so Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, so
He can have
Kevin
a
charges
lounge.
$5 to
Ooh,
lend
like a rental
game.
lounge.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many
for 2
games
weeks.
can you lend at one time?
As many
I
as
think
he
one.
owns.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
they're restricting it, right?
Okay,
We
so
are
he
giving
buys
you
a
$1 million
game for
lawsuit. Exactly. Old
for
school.
$60. Okay, and then he
Yep.
lends it out for 2 weeks at $20 a pop.
Yep. Let's
Right?
crunch some numbers here. I think we have potential.
Yeah, and then in
Yep.
6 weeks he's paid for the cartridge, and everything after that is gravy.
And then he only has to do jail for what? 10 years with Nintendo? What
Why
does
is
he
there
gotta do?
jail?
Because
He's allowed
Nintendo
to
would
do this.
sue a business for doing that. I guarantee it. They wouldn't do it with like a guy on Grinder, okay, or Craigslist or whatever you're talking about.
Okay, well
they
then
would
let's
sue
make
Kevin.
let's make a swipe app for this, Michelle.
Oh yeah, I want to go to jail and get a hanger in my twat. No, you handle this on your own. I'm not messing with Nintendo. Ryan's not
No.
helping you out. He's in Canada. He doesn't want to get hauled away somewhere either. This is all you, John.
we got enough problems up here.
You got enough problems. This is all you. Come up with your spiel, your whatever you're doing on your own. I think it's dangerous. I feel like they're going to say it's not a household. You can't do it at a place of business. You can't do it through like you've abused the system, and they'll shut your account down. They'll probably steal your whole library. Like if they notice more
But
than
you
like,
can't meet a dude in a parking lot and do
I
this?
bet if accounts have like a more
If
than a
it's
certain amount of
mutual?
shares, they're going to shut it down. It's Nintendo, John.
It's mutual
Yeah.
though. We're both consenting to this. Like I'm going to give you
Is it a
this, you give me
consensual
that.
share?
Sensual tapping.
And what's
I wouldn't
what's
risk
nice
losing
about
all
it
of my
though,
games in my Nintendo account. That's all I'm
but
saying.
what's great about it though is within 2 weeks it vanishes off the other guy's system.
Like it
and
never
you're
happened.
guaranteed-
It's like a perfect
You're guaranteed
summer
to get
fling,
it back.
you know?
It's the perfect crime. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
One other thing I'd like to touch on is they are allowing Switch 2 titles to be played on the original Switch. For people like me that this is like the first time I'm not getting a console day one, I'm going to be able to play the new Pokemon on my original Switch
Oh, really? I
on
didn't
my
know that.
OLED.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Pokemon, but I know they have Switch 2 titles that are able to be, you're able to insert that cartridge into your Switch.
Oh my god.
And
This
play
is
it.
so complicated.
And it just runs like shit. So who cares? If you want to do it, you want to
Yeah.
do it. Right? Or it runs the
At
same
6
because they're
frames per second.
yeah. Well, actually, I mean, that's a good point. Will that stop people from upgrading like right away because of that one sole thing? Like you're not like I guess Mario Kart
Yeah.
you can't. The new Mario Kart is Switch 2 only. There's certain Switch 2 only
No.
titles, but some
For
aren't.
me, that might stop me and wait
Right.
for a deal or something, right?
Okay.
Like,
Wait for Christmas, wait for a bundle that you want. John, what are you looking
yeah,
up? You're
save
going.
some money.
So Zabum says he doesn't think that's true that you can play any Switch 2 titles on the original Switch. I mean, it's probably a per game thing, if anything, right?
I don't
Just a
think that's
I think
couple?
it's
True.
per game for sure.
Well, I don't know. Nintendo's not my wheelhouse, so I don't know.
I think that they have some of these games like the Metroid game that are cross-gen titles, right? I think the new Metroid will play on the original Switch.
Yeah, maybe it's
I
not
think
a
that's
Switch
one of
2
them.
cartridge. They're just making a Switch 1 version of it.
Oh,
I don't know. I thought I heard. I could have sworn I read Switch 2 cartridge.
well, you were mostly curious about Pokemon. I don't know. That seems like one that would get people to upgrade that they'd probably hold off on. But so does Metroid.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you'd think
Yeah,
Metroid would be
Mario.
like, "Hey, upgrade. You need the Switch mouse for this one." You know, like if they're doing it for Metroid, then
Okay, so Metroid, there's 2 editions. There's the
Right.
Switch edition and the Switch 2 edition. If you buy the Switch edition and then you get a Switch 2, you have to then pay for an upgrade later.
Or
okay.
have the subscription. Yeah, that might have been it.
Well,
So
poor
maybe
Kevin at a
that's-
store having to explain all this to people because it is
Oh, I
confusing,
know.
like what they're doing.
It's
And
the Wii U all over again.
right, yeah,
this a
that's
new console?
It's kind of a lot closer to the DS and 3DS.
Yeah.
And even the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
that's why I said like I wonder if they held back like because remember all
Jedi
the
said it.
problems during the OLED time, John, when we thought there was going to be a Switch Pro and it was going to be more
Yeah.
powerful than the OLED screen, and but then the thing happened with the chip shortages
this is
and all
kind
that.
of it.
Yeah, I feel like if this came out with the OLED screen and was the Switch Pro, it would have been a better move than a Switch 2. And for me personally,
personally
like in my
agree.
mind, like yeah, like the Switch Pro probably should have been the upgraded version with the better screen. And I don't know
I
what
just
they're
got
doing.
the OLED not too long ago. Why would I want to downgrade my screen?
So you can do what
I
John
feel
did
like
and
that was
buy
a dumb
both.
mood.
That's what John's going to do,
I
right?
did
He'll
the
buy
first
both.
Listen,
I
I think you should wait about that screen, having an
OLEDs
opinion.
are going to look better. They're going to look better.
Just
They
saying.
did say it's going to look really good.
It's going to look good.
Jedi-
The OLEDs are
I've
gonna
Jedi
look
heard
better.
mentioned
reports
what I
that it
was
looks
thinking.
really good.
By the way,
So I'm not going to
Sure.
pass judgment until I have it in my hand.
All right. Well, we don't want to pass judgment. That's not what we do here on VGO. We're very non-judgmental, and but we hope you had a good time with us tonight. I think that's it. Now, Rye, if people want to find you online, what are you doing? You said you stopped your TikTok, right? And then you were doing other stuff, or what do you want to
I kind
promote
of
or
stopped
share?
with the streaming and TikTok and stuff, but I am at Generation Rye on everything. If you want
Okay.
to find my content or find me, talk to me, hang out.
That's right.
I'm
You're
also in
also
the
in our Discord. Yeah,
often.
you always sharing stuff, and you're a good guy to talk to about games. You're a hardcore gamer. What's your favorite game ever made? Somebody was asking that. They're like, well, give us ask the guest their favorite game ever done, and I can't remember if we asked you that. Is that a hard question?
I think you did ask me the first time. I think I said
Okay.
Enter the Gungeon.
Okay,
That was
right.
definitely my favorite
Roguelike
game
guy.
of
All
all
right,
time.
so there you go. Because people were like, you have to ask one question to every guest so we can get a sense of them, maybe their top 5 games of all time. So yeah, if you want to talk to Rye or maybe just win Clair Obscur in our Discord from cdkeys.com, we have a key or 2 to give away. So check out giveaways. And if you want to find us during the week, we are at videogameoutsiders.com. You get weekly bonus shows, the back catalog, and ad-free VGO if you support us in Discord or on our app. And I think that's it, John.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, subbing, all that shit. We see you very soon. Video game outside.
I dream in black and white. I don't know